These are my peaches, and this is me. What started as something pretty exciting very quickly turned into a huge and completely daunting task. Have you ever felt confronted by a really daunting task, one that feels just too big to conquer, even though you're really wanting or needing to conquer it? Today I am explaining the 4 things that keep us from achieving something. By the end of this video, you will know that even if it feels hard, you are capable of deciding to do it anyway. So I'm a life coach, and my mentor, Brooke Castillo, teaches that there are 4 things that can cost you your dreams or keep you from achieving something: confusion, doubt, self-pity, or fear. These are likely the feelings that lead you to inaction instead of what she calls massive action. And trust me, my 2 peach trees required massive action from me. And I can tell you for sure that I felt each one of these feelings during my journey with the peaches. So first, let's talk about confusion. I had no idea what to do. I had a huge lack of understanding about how this whole process was going to work exactly. I've never harvested peaches before. I have not really made many recipes from peaches before. I wasn't sure even when they were ripe. I didn't know how far they would go, like how many would I need if I really was gonna can them? What about freezing them? How many would we really go through in a year's time, or however long I was trying to preserve them for? I was just completely uncertain what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. This confusion truly kept me stuck for days, just paralyzed by total confusion about how exactly to move forward. Say that your daunting task right now is conquering tantrums. We have been talking about that. I've been taking you guys through a toddler tantrum series lately, and let's just say that your toddler's tantrums are feeling huge. It is just really so prevalent in your life that it feels like this daunting task. You've probably tried certain things, they aren't really working. You've talked to people and gotten their suggestions, and those aren't really working. Nothing seems to really make sense, and you're faced with this really daunting task. Confusion comes into play. You don't know what to do. You don't know why your toddler is doing this. You don't know what you should say or what you should do. You don't know how to handle these tantrums so that you feel that you are handling it. This is the part where you arm yourself with really good information, and from that information, make some decisions and take some steps forward, deciding that confusion is not going to stop you. Confusion is not going to halt your progress. It's not going to keep you frozen. You are going to pull yourself out of that confusion by finding that clarity, which in the case of tantrums would just be some good information and you just sitting down and making some decisions. I'll link a few of my videos, and I'll even put that toddler tantrum cheat sheet in the description if you're interested in that. The second thing that can really cost you progress on a daunting task is doubt. Now, with my peaches, not only did I doubt at the very beginning of my journey, but I doubted at just about every single step along the way. My expectations were continuously being unmet, as all of my efforts seemed to just barely put a dent in the overall number of peaches that I was trying to tackle. I doubted that I was really going to get through it. I doubted that I would really be able to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. Doubting is not believing that you will actually achieve it. So I would get really excited thinking, okay, I'm just gonna freeze the rest, or okay, I'm gonna have my friend come over and just pick all the rest of the peaches. Every single time, there were still more peaches. And each time that I would spend my whole afternoon or just a huge chunk of time telling myself, okay, I am going to just finish these peaches, I never did. And in fact, it felt like I was still so far away from that goal. and doubt would just always creep in, really doubting that I could do it. So say that you are wanting to turn over a new leaf and start taking a night off from your kids, right? Take a night off from parent duty, and you like the idea, and at the same time, that feels like a huge daunting task because you've never done this before. Immediately your mind is filled with so many doubts. Well, how will I handle dinner? Well, how will I get them tucked into bed? I'm sure I'll have a huge mess to pick up when I finally get home. How will I convey to my spouse really what needs to happen? Or, I really don't have the money to pay the babysitter. Where will that money come from? I'm sure my kids are going to put up such a fuss and they're going to cry and whine and all these doubts that totally make sense, by the way. You've never done this before. It feels very overwhelming. There are a lot of things that you're going to have doubts about, but the choice is yours to move past that and to decide that you can put all those doubts to rest by just taking a step forward. Maybe some of those things will happen. Maybe all of them will happen. And so what? What does that even mean? Does that mean you shouldn't take the night off? Well, you might decide that, but how will you know if you never try? The third thing that can get in the way is self-pity. Despite my very best efforts, I still got pretty absorbed in my own unhappiness and troubles. My family, my friends, they were hearing about it anytime they were talking to me. Even though I was saying it in a pretty lighthearted way, I still had quite the sob story about my peaches, and that yes, I was still doing peaches, and that, yesterday I thought I was gonna finish them all off by freezing them, and I only got like a quarter of the way. Or I thought my friend was gonna take all of them, and there's still a ton of peaches. Self-pity swallowed me up on many occasions as I just truly felt like I was the victim of this whole situation. Even though I knew full well I was making the choice, self-pity is so easy to get sucked into, and so not take action, not take any steps forward. So let's say your daunting task is tackling your wardrobe. You've been feeling really unhappy with your clothes. Enough is enough. You're just done dealing with getting dressed in the morning. It's just nothing but a burden. And so, yes, I'm going to tackle my wardrobe. And as you start thinking about that, you start tilting in the direction of self-pity. Well, I never have enough time for myself to do anything I want, so I'm never going to have the chance to go through my clothes. Or, well, I really just want to buy some new outfits, but I don't have any money, and poor me. Well, ever since having babies, my body just doesn't look the same, so really I'm never going to look good in any clothes. All of these things that were just so absorbed in that self-pity, kind of the unhappiness of our own, what we see as problems, really can prevent us from even starting. You never even take a minute to look at your wardrobe or even think about how you might make some adjustments. You don't take those opportunities that you have to really start trying to make some progress and just kind of see where it leads you. The last one is fear. Through this entire peach process, I had a really deep fear of not doing the right thing, not doing the perfect thing. Would we really eat this much peach butter? Would frozen peaches be better than dehydrated? Would they even taste good when these frozen peaches are thawed? Would I actually make jam out of all these pre-portioned peaches? So many fears, and my biggest fear of all was, would the world actually stop spinning if I wasted any single one of these beautiful peaches? I did not know what I was doing. I picked a bunch of peaches right off the bat because they were falling. They were dropping off the tree and, in my mind, getting wasted. And so, man, I did not want that to happen. So I picked so many peaches, brought them into the house, and then there they sat. And it was so overwhelming. my fears just kept piling up that, oh my gosh, here they are sitting, more and more fruit flies, and who knows how long they're gonna stay good for. What if I don't get around to all of them? I mean, it was truly debilitating at times. And that can happen with any daunting task that we are facing. Say you want to define your mom hours, I'll link that video, and bedtime feels very hard to you. Like, how can I actually clock out at bedtime? Because my kids just still need me, and they still just kind of come out of their rooms asking for things, and I really just need to be available for them, and this happens, and oh, I have all these fears about what it means about me if I'm not available for them 24/7. And these fears get so big in our mind, we're not even really thinking about the task at hand. We're just blowing it so out of proportion. And when we can rein it in and just realize, like I realized with my situation, holy cow, these are just peaches. If I waste them, I waste them. Like, is that fear really worth actually wasting all of them because I'm too scared to even do anything? No. Same goes for you. You define those mom hours. You figure out bedtime. I have a bedtime boot camp. I will link that if you need help with bedtime. There are so many options and really nothing to be afraid of, because guess what? We are so smart. Our brains are such good problem solvers, and we will constantly be able to evolve our plans and problem solve, troubleshoot, and come up with the best solution for us. And that's ultimately the point I want to make. You are capable of accomplishing anything you want to. Any daunting task that you are facing, you can conquer it. Look for these 4 feelings to come up. Just expect that. You know that you're going to have some confusion. You expect there to be some doubt and self-pity and some fear. And that way, when they come up, you're not alarmed. You're not worried. This was expected. And we can then move forward into how to really accomplish this. Now, I have talked about setting a goal before. I'll link that video if that daunting task that you have falls more into that category, something that you're really going to think through, take very methodical steps on how to achieve. But sometimes we are just faced with this task, like these peaches, and we're kind of just needing to tackle it right away. And so we just kind of jump in. And that's what today's video is all about, is just overcoming those kind of knee-jerk reactions and all those warning signs that your brain is thinking are there, and to just start taking action, because that is what will get you the results that you're wanting. I so appreciate you being here. You can do it. I will see you soon.